We've just covered 3 compelling reasons to not fund our adversary, China. First, there's the risk of losing your money if corporate governance is not quite right. You know, these are not actual Chinese shares. They're variable interest entities. Dan David makes that point as well. Second, there's a risk that you may be supporting the Chinese military and undermining our national security, as explained by Roger Robinson. Finally, as Gordon Chang explains, our investments have propped up an oppressive communist Chinese regime, and we've done so for decades. So the first and obvious step is to get your financial advisor and get with them and see if you have Chinese shares in your portfolio. And then you decide what's best for you and what you should do about those. But even if you don't directly hold Chinese shares or some version of them, you may have shares in a global or international mutual fund. The MSCI indexes, MSCI, Morgan Stanley Capital International Indices, they're the benchmark for global and international investors. If you buy a global index fund, it's likely based on the MSCI index. It's sort of like the S&P 500 of the world. What you may not know is that China recently pressured the MSCI to increase the weighting to China shares from 5% to 20%. But we know very little about their accounting practices or the ownership of these Chinese shares. You may have a lot of money in China and don't even know it. Again, you need to talk to your advisor. So what do? The answer? Ask your advisor. The problem is some of our viewers have told us that their advisor doesn't seem equipped in these areas. We want to help. If you'll tell us who your advisor is, we'll be happy to get in touch with them and share all of this information with them so they can better work with you to decide how you want to invest. Go to economicwarroom.com/advisor and tell us who to contact on your behalf. The goal is to help you weaponize your money and help protect America. So here are some action steps. Number 1, get the battle plan for this episode at economicwarroom.com. Number 2, make others aware of this issue, including your advisor. Most people don't know of the potential danger posed by Communist China. Some good news is CFIUS, which is the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States, has been tightening the rules under the Trump era. That means China is buying fewer of American companies. Number 3, tell your financial advisor that you want to find investment opportunities that not only make money, but also help to ensure America's future. For our children, for our grandchildren. We can work together to find appropriate investments for our future, and we stand ready to help your advisor to help you weaponize your money. We always like to close with something beautiful. When we discuss investors making a difference, there's no better example than Haym Salomon, a Polish-born Jew who financed our victory in the American Revolution. Let me quote from an article in Vintage Value Investing titled "The Forgotten Hero of the American Revolution." In August of 1781, our Southern forces had trapped Lieutenant General Charles Cornwallis in the little Virginia coastal town of Yorktown. George Washington and the main army and the Count de Rochambeau with his French army decided to march from the Hudson Highlands to Yorktown and deliver the final blow. But Washington's war chest was completely empty, as was that of Congress. Without food, uniforms, and supplies, Washington's troops were close to mutiny. Washington determined that he needed at least $20,000, which doesn't sound like much, but that's about $600,000 today, to finance his campaign. When Morris told him there were no more funds and no credit available, Washington gave a simple but eloquent order. He said, "Send for Haym Salomon." He again came through, and the $20,000 was raised and dispatched to Washington. Washington conducted the Yorktown campaign, and that proved to be the final battle of the Revolution. And it's all thanks to a Polish-born Jew named Haym Salomon. The fact is, investors can be heroes. When we work together, we can make a huge difference. You can get a free copy of this episode's Economic Battle Plan at economicwarroom.com. This is Kevin Freeman from the Economic War Room.